Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power and welcome to Pearl Harbor, welcome to Hawaii. We are preparing to invade Iran and the Federal Republic of Germany. This takes place December 7th, 1988, heavily inspired, if not just a flat-out copy of Red Storm Rising. Operational success on all fronts is required for us to gain victory without sparking a nuclear strike from either side. US fleets stationed in Honolulu pose a significant threat to key military assets stationed in the Far East. Crippling US naval operations in the Pacific Ocean is therefore crucial for defense of these assets. To disable US Navy Pacific operations, we will destroy fuel refineries and storage, warehouses and factories that store and produce US Navy assets. We will also sink multiple large ships, including the Vincennes and the Nimitz. We believe the 47th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attacks will not only hamper US operations in the region, but also cause panic and fear among the American public, weakening their resolve. Orders. Maneuver your fleet to Hawaii, sink both the Nimitz and the Vincennes, destroy at least 2/3 of US naval facilities in Honolulu, disable Hickam Air Force Base, transit your fleet along Honolulu's coastline, and retreat before 21 hours GMT. If possible, sink some US ships close to the coastline for the people to see. Psychological warfare. When transiting the coastline, sail close enough to the city for people to make out the flags of your ships. We want them to know who did this. Victor III class submarine K-218 is operating in the region simultaneously. It is on course to meet with the estimated position USS Nimitz and its escorts. It will be a most effective way to disable the carrier. We have lots to do. We also have lots of tools and toys to do that with. We are looking at lots of ships. We are leading the place from the Novoris... This? That seems like a bit of a tongue twister. Our capabilities with the Kiev are not unlimited, but they're pretty good. We have the capability of launching the SSN-12s against ships. We can launch a couple of aircraft against various different targets, going from air to air to bombing runs. OFABs, I think, are dual-purpose airdropped. We also get access to the AS-7. It's an anti-ship missile. Can be useful, I guess, well, if you want to be suicidal about it. I mean, 5-mile range, no thank you. So that's not great. We also get access to the K-25s, the K-27s for anti-submarine warfare. But I think that against other surface ships, we have plenty of other tools. Lots and lots of other tools, including the big bad Kirov. Look at the Buvoy. That is an Urloy? No, it's a Sovrameni. Another Sovrameni. Another Sovrameni. And another Sovrameni. Good lord. And we're getting escorts from Krivax. The only thing missing from this picture is an Udaloy, just to keep everything safe. Because we do have the Gadfly out to 13 miles. It's pretty good. But the VLS that the Udaloy brings is just phenomenal. Alright, we got the K-218, so we're expecting Nimitz somewhere around here. Go above the layer, stream the towed array, maintain speed 5 knots, do not cavitate. We are to go here, I imagine. So that's where we're going. Something that this aircraft carrier, as opposed to other aircraft carriers, does not have, and that's going to be a bit of a problem, is a scout platform. So we're going to have to send one of the Ka-25s out there and use its big bulge search radar. 205-mile range. Like, it's not bad, but I'd like a bit more. We only get 2 of those birds, so let's make them useful. As for the strike against the American ships, I think we can do that. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. You go and develop that way. I think against the ships we can do that with the Kirov. We got 20 shipwrecks. We also have access to all of the Sunburns aboard our Sovrameni, so we can hit them at the 135-mile range. Presently, I think we're not quite there yet. Oh, we are. We are 102 miles out. Alright. So, what I'm going to do is send out my scout helicopter forward. I'm not sure if the Americans are going to be using aircraft. The AI typically doesn't know how to use it. My aircraft are awful. The Yak-38, as far as I have played with it, is not a great aircraft. It is a VSTOL, so vertical / short takeoff and landing, but its capabilities are abysmal. It simply doesn't have the range. It simply doesn't really have the capabilities that I would like. I mean, a strike loadout is 4 bombs. You got to strike long range, gives you 2 light bombs. You got to strike precision with the carry, which is a 5-mile range anti-ship missile. You got the close air support, which gives you a couple of rocket pods. It's not great. I'm just going to send up 2 to, well, to see what they can do. If nothing else. How is my helo doing? Here you are. Taken off. Alright, what I want you to do is go forward and scout. What I want you to do is tell me what you got. You got 4 carrier killers, you got a couple of USATs, you got a couple of Test 71s against subs, more Stallions against subs, and 4 noisemakers. Oh, hello, there's more. Yeah, so we're definitely seeing the Nimitz here. I'm just not sure which of the contacts it is. There's still a lot of potential contacts. Depth. We got a lot below the keel, so that's good news. Means I can speed up if I want to by going deeper. I do like having that ability. What I want to know now is whether or not the American have any kind of ships which could become a problem. The helicopters at 6,000 feet is not exactly going to be, well, anywhere equal to an E-2C. We don't simply have the same capabilities as the Americans, but we do have a lot more missiles, as the Soviet doctrine seemed to rely on missiles a heck of a lot more. Is that an aircraft? Helicopter? Type in helo. Over here we're seeing, of course, not just Nimitz, but also her friends. Classified hostile. What are we looking at? Long Beach or Virginia? Missile cruiser. Missile cruiser is not that big of a problem, as its capabilities against submarines are fairly limited. It does have the SQS-23, but against the Victor 3, good luck. As for the rest of them, I don't think we have enough information on them yet. This can still be anything. Of course, there are some modded ships in there, like the Lafayette. Don't bother about those. Let's see what this bird can spot. Huh, it's a hostile figure. The Yak-38s, look at that, that's their range. At 2,000 feet, to be sure. But even improving their altitude typically doesn't give them that much more range. Oh, these guys are radiating. Interesting. That needs to get addressed. Over here we now know that all of these are hostile. Question is exactly what we're dealing with. Could be a Perry. A Perry would make sense. They're doing 26 knots. Okay, so they're definitely making a lot of noise. Helo, go active. Ooh. Are these the ships at anchor that we're looking for? Large? Is that the Vincennes? Possibly. And then these are like what? Frigates? Semi-large? I guess that's possible. The Yaks... Oh wow, the Yaks can actually get there. That's interesting. We only got 5-mile range on the missiles. And if this is the Vincennes... Let me check up what that ship can do. We got a guided missile cruiser. So let's select missile... No, not missile boats. Missile cruiser. Let's say it's a long... No, it's not a Long Beach. Ticonderoga. Standard missile 2, 40-mile range. I'm going to set a 40-mile no-fly zone around this area. Not on the contact, but next to the contact, so that if I lose track with the contact, I can still get that range circle. This is where I cannot hunt these helicopters. So as much as I'd like, these Yaks are going to have to wait patiently until these helos leave that area. Because it's dangerous not to wait. As for the K218, I do have access to carrier killers, which at this point aren't in range. But by the time that these ships get here, especially as they're moving along at 26, they very well might. They very well might be in range. I mean, that's where they're going to be in an hour. My torpedoes have a range of, what was it, 27? Yes. So, by the time that I shoot these right now, I can intercept them, give or take, there. Like, that's what they're going to do in an hour. That's what they're going to do in an hour. So, officially, we're in range. But the moment that those ships hear them and turn around, the whole situation changes, and I might waste a couple of torpedoes. And I do like these, because they're wake homers. And that gives me quite a decent punch, as well as the capability of reaching out very far. I might send... yeah, let's just send them. The problem is I can't exactly target them. So I guess we would just have to target where we expect the enemy fleet to go. You're on a course of 305, doing 26 knots. There. That's kind of where you're going to end up. But these are wake homers, so ideally you target them from behind. Because that's the easiest way to detect a wake. They don't always get it right. The problem with these torpedoes is that you only get 2 tubes. They're so big that you can fire 2, and then you're going to be spending 15 to 30 minutes reloading. So I got to keep that in mind. An alternative plan is to send 20 missiles after this whole formation, and I think we might be able to get some damage done with that. The question is, how many do they shoot down? Because this is probably going to be a fairly dangerous group. This is a dangerous group. But the carrier might have more offensive capabilities than the cruiser. You guys are tempting fate, aren't you? No, not really. Not even close. Okay, fine. Would have been fun. How long is that going to take us? 3 hours. At 31 knots. We're really blitzing over there. I'm going to assume these ships are hostile. And that means we're going to go missile their ships. The challenge is then always, how many do you send? I only got 8 sandboxes here. If I send all 8, I might get a hit. If I don't, it's quite likely that they'll get intercepted bit by bit. Alternatively, we got those Sunburns with a range of 135, so they're in range. And I can fire them pretty quick, but I don't think the Sunburns communicate. The Sunburns are also radar guided, active radar homing, so they're going to go for the biggest target. If this is a Ticonderoga, and these 3 are Perrys, this is a single missile launcher, that's a single, and these tend to have double. Because this is a vanilla mod, or a vanilla scenario. I got lots of missiles. Lots of missiles. I even got Silex, but like that's a 27-mile range. How about launching from these 2? 16 Sunburns. And kind of hoping that they'll actually pick the right targets. I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to say we're going to send 4 from each ship after 7010. And I want to send 2 after this one. And I want to send 2 after that one. The other ship is going to do the same thing. This way we're going to attack from 2 slightly different angles, although it's not a big spread. Go. What I do wonder about, is there the potential of enemy submarine activity? If there is, I'm rushing towards it at 31 knots. Which can be a bit of a problem. I picked the worst time for that helicopter to come out. They're gonna hate me. Fine. Do as I say. Let's go with the other helo as well. Okay, so we got 16 missiles on the way. I'm hoping they'll spread out and attack the targets as they are ordered to do. If they don't, and if they all go for this target, you know, so be it. I think... I'm not sure if we're getting the right lock-ons. No, let's just see. In the meanwhile, southeast. Yep, it's 2 Perrys. It's 2 Perrys and friends. I'm not officially supposed to know that yet, so let's not have too close of a look. If these guys keep doing 26 knots, I might just let them kind of run me over and just go deep below the layer. They will not detect me, ideally, and then I can torpedo them. Any survivors will be shot again. Pretty straightforward. You know what? I'm just curious. Is this going to work? Let's see. 1. Go active there. I think I should have turned them active before. There is a helo somewhere around here. We're picking it up by their emissions. No, I want you to go... Yeah, I don't want to go close to the islands. Go there. Get deep. Get away. I don't want to be where those torpedoes came from. Missile time. Altitude, 32,000 feet. Yeah, we classified them as hostile. No, I did, I think. They're mobile. They started moving, so that leads me to believe that they might in fact know that there is trouble on the way. I don't like them to know that there's trouble on the way. I'd rather they be perfectly oblivious, but this helicopter might just look out the window and go, huh? Crap. Yep, there we go. They're already getting intercepted, so that's a Standard Missile 2 medium range, confirming my suspicion that we're dealing with a Ticonderoga. And there's a second which was intercepted. But we're now going to sea skimming. And another one intercepted. And another... Here we go. At this point, it's going to be more difficult for them to detect us. Early on in the flight, the Soviet missiles tend to be a bit more susceptible to getting attacked. Oh, it's going to be daylight soon. Good. 22 miles, and we're flying in at 1,360 knots. 18 and a half. 16. 15, 13, 12. Yep, more are locking on to the large ship. 8. Good morning, Pearl Harbor. They're making a nice fireworks show of everything. Oh, you decided to go for the chaff? Come on. Come on. The chaff is not that interesting. This is gorgeous. Oh, the Vincennes is gonna take one. Oh, what the hell was that? See who is? Hit. Hit. Yep, we got one of those other ships. Vincennes is done for. I'm not sure whether we got the ship on the right. No, we did not. Well, no. That's a Perry. He's fine. The Vincennes has been sunk. Excellent. And I think that other Perry is not going to be around for very long. I don't think they're going to survive this fight very well. Because that missile tends to do a heck of a lot of damage. Poor Vincennes. Oh well. Still can't... Well, actually no, update. I can now touch these aircraft. Because these are Perrys. They don't have as good of a range. So maybe I have options now. Good. Let's go hunt some helos. Let's go hunt some birds. We're at an altitude of 30,000 feet. We're going to have to go a lot lower than that. Because the contact is down there. We're firing AFITs, which are heat seekers. 20,000 feet. 18, 17. Oh, we're about to run out of range. Engage! Before you run out, let's launch a new flight from the carrier. Give me 2 yaks. Air to air. Send it. Alright, you. Please make good use of your fuel before it runs out. Because we're only going to really get 1, maybe 2 shots at this. Nope. Engage, engage, engage. Get your butt over here. Now. There's no such thing as limited ammunition on this aircraft carrier of ours. Come on. Shoot it! Salvo everything. There's no limited ammo. We can just resupply as we please. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Good luck. So how are you doing this fine morning? Not that well. Okay, that's at least one of the aircraft down. Oh, it's an S-70. Fancy. I kind of forgot to disable that mod, apparently. Yeah, the Perry's gone. Second ship lost at Pearl Harbor. Very good. Did you run aground? Where? No, I didn't run aground. He's fine. He's fine. I don't like this helicopter buzzing around, but at 600 feet they're not using a dipping sonar, and they're not using sonobuoys. So he can just keep bugging around as much as he likes. What I'm going to do is send out a helicopter. Guys, you're burning up fuel like crazy. Shall we not? I want to send out the other helo and make sure I get a bit more eyes on the Nimitz and friends. Send it. Because I think that'll be an interesting thing to eliminate. I don't have eyes or ears on it anymore, as the 218 is running away from her last known position. The thing about these carrier killers, they can come from anywhere. You really don't know how long ago they've been launched. You can kind of just follow along the line and start dropping sonobuoys. I've done that successfully. But it doesn't always get you the submarine quickly. So this submarine might still need some help from the Kirov. As for these, I think they're not that big of a deal. The Tycho is down, or rather the Vincennes is down. The Boone is gone, so I can still launch... Oh, I don't know, 4 missiles. So, like... Yeah, I think 4 each. Let's go. Are you pinging? Oh, why are we doing that? Oh crap, I completely forgot my ASW. I need to get on ASW. Otherwise, I might very soon start losing very expensive warships. Let's do a fairly widespread. Whatever. You're gonna be on the other side. No, not there. Give me a range of about 10 miles. There. Drop here. Hello? Excuse me, if you're not busy, I'd like you to drop sonobuoys. Thank you. Okay. Not a perfect line, but it ought to do the trick, and we do need to get over there. All the way over there. Now, let's slow down, go above the layer. I want to hear where that aircraft carrier group is. Distance is about 9 miles to the torpedoes, so we're definitely making progress there. And these Yak-38s are running out of fuel. Oh god, and they're only flying at 2,000 feet. Can I go to, I don't know, 6? Yeah. You really need to manage your altitudes with these things. New passive contact? Oh, that's the submarine. My bad. You really need to manage your altitude with these Yaks. If you don't, you'll find that they run out of fuel way, way quick. Your altitude, 1,000 feet. Well, for now. Go to 3. So much for the range. Damn. Oh. Radar warning receiver. Briefly. Away. Come on, it's an infrared. Got him. Okay. Yeah, that's about it for that flight. They've run out of fuel. How far away are they? 50 miles. You're a disgrace, sir. An absolute disgrace of an aircraft. Good lord, they got a lot of birds around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds. They're all flying at 600 feet, it appears. 2,000 feet, 600 feet, 2,000, 2,000. They're just up here looking pretty. But that's about it. In the meanwhile, the rest of the SSN-22s are approaching the rest of their ships here. And I think that this ship might have... No, it can't have grounded itself. It might have beached itself here, though. We are still splitting their missiles, but most... Yeah, 7 out of 8 are going for 1 contact. That's what I was worried about. Hold on a second. There's anti-aircraft fire coming from shore. Too late. How about you? Boom. Okay, that ought to eliminate both of those. This is just overkill at this point. Lots and lots and lots of overkill, in fact. But then again, I couldn't exactly know how many missiles they'd intercept, so... I don't really mind. I think I still have enough assets to deal with the rest of the ships, especially the carrier. So this used to be the Flatley. Oh, where are you going? Nowhere. Alright, fine. Fine. Now, I'm going to leave you guys here, because this is going to turn into a longer mission. We still have to get all the way over there. I still have to sink an aircraft carrier, and I have to knock out a lot of birds, but until I know exactly what is out there, I can't quite safely send a Yak over there, if it can even make it there fast enough before running out of fuel. So, join me next time, as we're going to be seeing what these torpedoes actually managed to inflict on the aircraft carrier group. And it could be nothing, it could be some kills. See you guys next time.